anyways, today we have a lot of training videos. We have a lot of training videos, and of course we have topics. But because we have Chief Godi, and I really want to hear his own take on this training video. So I'm going to start first with the Naira abuse. The Naira abuse, where we have EFCC inviting the billionaires son Okoya to, of course, to their station, them questioning for the Naira. But before we show the video, because there is a video to that, let me quickly read a short story on that one, so we can know exactly what went down. Okay, so the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has invited Wahab and Rahim Okoya, sons of billionaire businessman Chief Razak Okoya, for questioning over alleged Naira abuse. Rahim and Wahab are expected to report to the Commissioner's Ladies Office for question on Monday, which is today. The brothers sparked widespread criticism after a video surfaced showing them flaunting and spraying bottles of 1,000 Naira notes in a promotional clip for Rahim's new song titled Fertilize. In the video, the duo dressed in white as Bagda, as you can see screen, danced while a mobile policeman held stacks of crisp and Naira notes, which they launched into the air. The act perceived by many as disregard for the law drew condemnation on social media, with so many Nigerians expressing doubt about accountability due to their father's influential status. Now, the Nigerian police force spokesperson, who were at the interview, said the officers seen in the video have been identified and detained. One of Okoya's sons, actually, Rahim, issued an apology via his ex account, saying he didn't mean to, trouble or stress anybody. Of course, that's the video playing right there. That's just a promotional video, and flaunting our Naira, which, if I remember correctly, was one of the things that was detained in prison for about 3 to 6 months thereabout. And of course, a lot of people have been arrested and taken to court because of this. I do not know, but well, it's good enough that they were so fast enough to actually respond to that video, and of course people called attention to it, so it's a good thing. But what's your take on that? Do you actually think because of course we know that Okoya is a billionaire, it's not just a billionaire, it's very, very special. Do you think law can actually take his course on his sons?
Why not? The president of the United States, President-elect, has just been killed in the US. So I don't think there is the most powerful person in the world today is the US president. And President-elect does about today is 13. It does about 7 days for him to be sworn in as the president. And the US court has already jailed him for conspiracy over the attacks in the Capitol about 4 years ago. All right. I hate to hear this billionaire son, Okoya's children. Maybe that's what made the news. And I think these children, they are educated. They are not illiterate. Even if they didn't go to school, there was this maxim that when I was growing up, that travel is a part of education. So that means that if you travel far and wide, you are expected to be learned. You are expected to be civilized because you are exposed to grand norms and how things are being done, and your expectation of you by the public. If you want to do a video, I mean, the EFCC, the Nigerian police, does not stop anybody from flaunting props. I mean, that's what they call props.
Yes, of course. In
the video, in the movie, in the make-believe world, there's what they call props. Props are you can go create Naira like a Naira. All right? It's not the actual Naira. And you can flaunt it as you want. You will still represent whatever you want to do. It goes to show that we lack respect for hard work. We lack respect for dignity. We lack respect for people working and earn a living genuinely. You don't disregard a country's status symbols like that. What makes the UK, the United Kingdom is the pounds. What makes the US is the dollar. Everybody want to trade with the dollar. That makes you want to have a piece of the United States of America in your pocket. You work so hard to end it. And when I see people who are learned, who live outside this country, most part of their life live outside the country, behave the way those children behave, it leaves much to be desired. I feel very sad for what our kids are turning into. This morning I have to practically want to fight with my son who wants to go for a lesson, and he dressed like quote unquote a Yahoo boy. And I said, look, if you are picked up, your mom is here. I will let you spend a few days in the police cell to understand that, look, in this area they know me and they know what I stand for. They know the way I dress. They know they have high expectation of my children. How as a man that speaks, who is a public commentator, who also, I mean, weigh in on how society should behave. You should be seen dressing like this, because if you are seen dressing like this, a lot of people will think you are under influence of one sort of. So I don't need it. I don't want you to be like that. Okay, you could call it fashion. You could dress in any other way that depict decency, but not like this. So when you see that, and you see that our police people, because of money, can do anything for it, it shows that even the police hierarchy has some question, has some answers to give to the public in how the orientation, how the kind of policemen and the policewomen they chung out every day, every year. What is the orientation? How do we hold them to account to what they are doing? All right. What we saw is what we used to see in the movie, where people print props and spray. The other one was using it to knot ball, to knot the money, using leg to trap it. They were doing all sort of things with what cost Nigeria so much amount of money to print. Today, as we speak, and I think CBN should be able to answer this. As we speak today, within Ikeja metropolis, you cannot take 5,000 naira without parting with 200 naira from a POS agent. And when you ask them, why is that so, they say there is scarcity of cash. So where do they get that amount of money from? In cash. Where do they get it from? If that is not a problem, the CBN should answer this question. Where do they get it from? The Nigerian bank should answer this question, because an average POS agent will go to the market to source for fund, and we are paying 200 naira to buy naira. We are buying naira in our own country. And when you buy this naira, use your card or do a transfer to this POS, a bank somewhere will deduct some money from your account, having paid 200 naira from your account to get 5,000 naira. A bank somewhere will make some money. In some bank, I don't want to mention a bank here, if you do a particular transaction, you have 3 debits. 1 naira 88 kobo, 2 naira 50 kobo, 550 naira. 3. Having paid 200 naira to take 5,000 naira. So what are the incentives of going to the bank? Right. For the fear of, digressing a little bit. So I want to ask, see, there are a lot of things going wrong with this country. And it's not just these badly behaved children. It is about the system. The problem with Nigeria is systemic. And it's high time all of us stood together to tackle this problem. All right? Because at the end of the day, how do you explain that? Bobrisky, it will be, today, the certain chief priest is working free. Capitalizing on the law that they should go, that he is not guilty. They should go and bring the money that is free. It was prop. He knew he had run foul of the law. So what justice are you giving to Bobrisky, who practically owned up? So in our society, it is now criminal for you to own up to a bad behavior than denying it. Do you understand? Because Bobrisky owned up that, I'm sorry, I wasn't well informed, I did this, and chief priest said he's not sorry, he didn't spray the naira. He knew he did it. Alright? And he's working free, making noise on social media, buying things for people, doing everything. Bobrisky is now an ex-convict. as it were. Maybe until some governor or some president come up and pardon her. So I pardon him because he's still, as at yesterday, as at this morning, he's still a guy, Idris. So at the end of the day, what are we preaching? So let us stop making it look like I have never seen Okoya, who has just clocked 80, work so hard, establish a company, a conglomerate, a manufacturer, an entrepreneur of highest standard. I've never seen him disrespect the naira he worked so hard for. But I have not seen anything that any of his children has established. They don't have a pedigree. They are all living on their father's name. And look at see what they are doing in the name of a musical video. In the name of musical video. Does it make sense? So at the end of the day, it's beyond an apology. Somebody has been made to pay. They should be made to pay. Now that they say they didn't know, that means they have owned up that it was the naira, the real naira they were spreading. All right. So they should go to court. They should have their day in court. They should face the judge, and they should be committed to prison.
How about the policemen that were actually identified as
they are accomplices? So whatever will happen to them, they have their own. There is what they call oddly, I mean, court. I don't know whether they call it court martial in the police. The police has their own way of treating their own errant members. Okay, so after facing the law, the police will still come back to them and say, we have a code.
But I feel like for those policemen to be there, they must have a superior who has placed them in that place. No, Blossom. See, every son of a big man in this country has a police attaché.
Who attached the police?
Yes, they have a department that does that now. The police cannot deny that.
That's what I'm saying. Those ones.
So the people that give it to them didn't ask them to go and be spreading money.
Holding money, okay.
So it could be for security reason. We are going to be, if I am having an event in Ikeja today, and I expect dignitaries that are coming in, I can go to the police and apply for a few other police protection.
Okay.
For that, so that my guests will not be harassed. So when the police who legally assign them to that such event to forestall any breakdown of law and order, they now came and found out that is a big man that came, and they participated in, when the man threw the money, they participated in picking it and running around it. The Oga did not ask them to do that. God did not ask them to.
Okay, all right. Anyways, since you said that one, we're waiting for what the EFCC will be, how they'll be handling this case. Hopefully, just the way you mentioned, Bobrisky, Kubana, Chief Priest, all of them were taken to court. So we want to see if they're going to pardon them or actually take them to court for justice to take its course. Let's check out some. I saw this one very early this morning. Several goods were seized as Lagos Task Force read the streets of illegal traders. Let me just read a bit of the story because there's a story behind every trend report. Okay, disclosing this on social media, the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo, said that the enforcement team conducted operation across key areas in and around the island to enforce compliance with environmental regulations and ensure and ensure compliance with environmental regulations and ensure the streets remain clean and safe. Now, from the link bridge at Iyanoworo to Victoria Island busy streets, including Idowu Martins, Amadu Bello Way, Legali Ayorede, and more, the team worked diligently to read these areas of illegal trading activity and proper waste disposal. This is the wrong video, please. You're playing the wrong video. This is not the right video. This is several goods seized at Lagos Task Force read of illegal traders. Several goods seized. Thank you. Not Edo Task Force and not Lagos State Commissioner. Not all those ones. All right. He also said that they remain committed to maintaining a cleaner Lagos, urging all residents and business operators to adhere to environmental laws and contribute to a sustainable future. Of course, stating that together we can make Lagos a cleaner place. So let's quickly check this video. It's a broad daylight video, please, not a night video, where several goods were actually seized as Lagos Task Force packed a whole lot of, you could see them on the rails, you know, they were packing. It was quite a long video. So let's have that video. We'll be right back to the studio.
Right, welcome back. Yes, that is Lagos Task Force. Always do one, always the other. Try to use not just legal traders, also we call it those who are causing a pollution in Lagos State. But honestly, do you think seizing of this gold? This is not the first time I've actually seen Lagos Task Force seizing goods worth. By the time you calculate how much those goods are worth, they worth a lot. And true, a lot of a lot of sound warning has been given. Caution not to trade on the expressway or the bridge on the road. But trust me, Lagos is where business always run, and they always find a way to sell on the streets, no matter how. Think about it. But what's your take?
All right, I think it's a good thing that the Lagos State is trying to walk the talk. They walk the talk of the bigger city. Mm-hmm. I don't think there is any place in the world that people don't sell on the street, even in New York, in London. There are some parts that the street trading thrives, all right? And it's also good that this is constant or consistent, as it were. But I found out that since I came to Lagos, the Lagos government seems to be more of a sadist like than a joy giver, all right? The shop demolition takes place every December and early January and makes people like from happiness to sadness. You see that in the by April, May, June, July, you know the rate will cease. People, the government will relax. People will go back to business as usual. And when it comes to December, January, where people are supposed to celebrate and come back to their business, they started again. And I don't understand the rationale behind it. What it is, I feel that the government should actually be more sympathetic to people than becoming very hard on his own people. Yes, it is not right to trade in the places that, because when you go to those places like Sanusi Fafowa, Adiola Odeku, Idowu Taylor, what is it called? The other side that they sells food now, you find out that the traffic in those areas are always caused by the street traders and the rest of it. And especially if you go to Okoya runabout, you will see a lot of activities going on. Okoya that's I just had Yogun and Adetukumba Demola to Sanusi Fafunwa runabout. You find out that a lot of vehicles are parked there, people are selling, and a lot of traffic, vehicular traffic are seen in that area and slow down and what we call go slow. But I think instead of that, I feel because when you don't give alternative, today Okadas are riding in Ikeja now. If you walk inside Ikeja, you can take Okada because there's no alternative. So I've always believed that if you there's a proverb in my place that what that means that when you pursue a dog from scraters, now you will go chop them. All right, now you go chop them. So when you ask them not to go there, what is the alternative? Where are you? Where have you taken them to? Where have you given them to trade? You see, so at the end of the day, you ask them not to come here, and they go home 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and they are hungry and they are back. Just like Okada, go to Ikeja along now. Okada is flying from Yonapaja along to Oshodi.
Yeah.
You see Okada now. In fact, some Okadas are riding, dropping people around the airport because there's no alternative. The guy cannot die of hunger. He has nothing else to do. So if you ask them not to do it, what else can they do? And they know that what they are doing is not criminal in itself. That's quote and unquote. They are not seen as doing a bad thing. They are seen as taking a genuine livelihood for them and their family. So when you stop people from climbing Okada, what are the other alternatives that replaces them? Okay, we have also seen an explosion of keke and the Korokwe, but how many of that can our road take? All right. So at the end of the day, I feel, despite the fact that the Commissioner for Environment is doing a great job by trying to rid Lagos out of street trading and other miscreants, and I think there should be an alternative. We should work with the Ministry of Investment and Trade to look for a viable alternative to defeat this. Because what should defeat it is not using Kai and police to chase these people. Kai and police cannot always go there every day. You don't even have enough Kai to cover Lagos at once. You can't employ, you can't pay. So what you need to do is that as you are in Oworo today, some people are selling in Yonapaja. So I'm shocked. With all of this, the Commissioner for Environment has not visited a very notorious place in terms of street trading and vehicular traffic under Yonapaja. That's Express. Yes. Yonapaja Bridge Express. I wonder why the Commissioner has not visited that place with his sky and everything. Because I wonder why Commissioner has not visited the roundabout of Yonapaja going to Egbeda.
Okay.
Because he is not notorious for street trading and causing of vehicular traffic.
Trust me. It almost sounds as though you're even passing a
You understand? I wonder why the Commissioner has not visited Mashilashi in Agege. These are the places.
Just mention Agege like it's one place.
No, it is my area. So I know that these are the places that we have challenges. So you are concentrating on VI because it's a big man area. No, it shouldn't be. In Lagos we are not saying it's VI that is a mega city. We are not saying it's Lekki that is a mega city. Say Lagos wants to be a mega city. So all part of Lagos must be touched one way or the other.
Okay, well, all reason for the time. I just hope that all these goods they have seized from this trader, they should please find a way to return it to them. Because trust me.
And if you say they should return it to them, you encourage them to go back.
I'm not encouraging them to go back, but did you see how much worth of goods this?
That is it. It's just like people. Just like saying that people who has gone out to go and import rice, contraband goods, something Nigeria has placed a ban on. That after seizure you should return to them. So that is an incentive. That is an incentive. You don't need to. So what you need to do is confiscate it. Perhaps you can also use it as palliative for those ones that are good, and those ones that are bad, you can burn them or discard with.
Oh, that's very easy for you to say. But honestly, I just feel the things of those traders. Anyway,
What are you talking about? Didn't you see in Lagos State when they seize cars driving on one way or Okadas that are entering prohibited environment and cars that are driving on BIT, this thing? Didn't you see how they were destroyed? Did they give them back? They were destroyed. Put them into parts.
Okay, anyways, let's move on to the next topic, and this one is the federal government has approved telecom tariff hike. Now, when I saw this last week, I was like, no way, what is happening? Because everything just keeps increasing by the day. Now, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, has disclosed that telecommunication tariff will soon increase, though the hike will not be as high as the 100% being proposed by the operators. Now, speaking at a meeting, Tijani said that the conversations and engagements were ongoing, urging that the Nigerian Communication Commission would approve the new tariff and announce them to the public in maybe a week or two. Now, the minister explained that the government will focus on striking a balance between protecting Nigerians and ensuring that telecommunications companies will continue to invest significantly in the sector, stressing the need for proper regulation to guarantee sustainable growth. It further revealed that the federal government will no longer rely solely on private companies to invest in telecommunications infrastructure, as this approach has limited expansion to areas with immediate returns on investment. I also said efforts are being made to ensure that customers benefit from meaningful connectivity and quality service, which requires substantial investment. Also, the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Dr. Aminu Maida, stated that while operators have requested 100% tariff increase, it wasn't likely to be approved. He said the exact percentage will be announced within a week or two following ongoing stakeholder consultation, noting that the NCC had updated its quality of service, regulations, improved transparency, and compliance. Anyways, last 2 weeks or earlier last week, it was proposed that there will be a 100% increase tariff hike in telecommunications. And in a way, I still feel like this is somewhat a good news that it's not going to be 100%, but in 1 or 2 weeks, the percentages will be increased by the public sector consumers. What do you think? Do you think this hike is really, really necessary?
Is it not?
Why do you think so?
Is it not?
Because
they work in Nigeria, their staffs. Everybody work here. We have seen what has happened over time. We have seen why is government having a vested interest in telecom? The same that if Nigerian people has given the go ahead and has turned a blind eye on what the discos and gencos are doing, federal government would have increased by every day electricity bill without looking back. We would have done that every day without looking back. So why are they stopping those who have a private business in Nigeria from increasing their own bill and their own tariff? Because if a telecommunication fold up is negative on Nigeria, the optics will not be nice.
Course, yeah.
How do they break even? You can see I have a particular network for the last 2 weeks. They have completely disappeared on my phone. I can't make call, despite the fact that I have a data running for 1 month, right? That data running for 1 month is less than 2 weeks. The data will expire, and I'm not using it for 1 day.
Have you complained to the service provider?
How do you complain when you don't even? Am I going to use my? Am I going to use, for instance, am I going to use?
Because your data is wasted.
That's what I'm saying. Am I going to use Glo to call? Okay, if I cannot get them on my phone, they are completely disappeared. I can show you here. They've completely disappeared.
Wow.
Okay.
So you've been using more
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
they just came out today, this morning.
For how long has this been?
For over 10 days.
10 days?
Yes, completely disappeared on my phone.
Okay.
So I just saw them now. So what am I saying is that for them to be efficient and effective, they must generate revenue that make them plug back. I mean, we used to know how telecom used to be. These guys came in, they met zero infrastructure. Zero infrastructure. Nigerian government did nothing for them. They were building base stations. They were buying generators. It is now that they have to come together and say, do you know what? We can actually do this. We can actually collaborate. Before then, as at that time, it was MTN and Econet, as it were, as at that time. Most of them were busy building their marks, building their base station, buying generator, buying diesel, employing security to man those places. And today, you can see 2 or 3 telecom company can come together and operate a base station.
Yeah, true.
All right?
True.
So they met absolutely not, unlike other markets that what they would just need to do is to carry their portfolio, go there, start. But
the 100% increase on tariff is actually outrageous.
No, it's not. It's not outrageous. Based on last year, before the government came in, $1 to $1 was about 470. Today it's 150. It's over 100% increase. Hello?
Because
Hello? I'm coming.
Okay.
Wait. Petrol, diesel, as of before they came in, before this present government came in, was about 230 naira, 280 naira, or at most 380 naira per liter.
Yeah.
Today is 130 naira, 1,300, over 100%. Petrol was 128 naira per liter. Today, let's say, is approximately 1,000. Right? All right? Because if you have a base station in Delta State, you are not going to buy fuel because it's 9.25 for Lagos. Transport it to that place.
No.
You are going to buy it there.
Of course.
So I put it approximate. So in all of this, inflation is over 100% increase. So if you now say that, and I want to ask you, a bag of rice was about less than 40,000,
yes,
or 40,000 before they came in. Today is 100,000.
Of course.
Over 100%. So tell me what has not climbed over 100%.
But if
this morning I read that that there is a mass withdrawal of kids from private school because all the private schools has conspired and increased their fee by 50%. They were just trying to be conservative. And what happened? People are now going back to public schools.
Okay, anyways, let's watch one more training video before we go. But honestly, I hope it will not be 100% increase.
No, it is not the fact that we don't want it to be 100%. However, there is absolute justification for 100% increase. Yes, it's going to affect us.
Definitely.
Listen, hello. Do we ever believe in this country? That's why I keep telling people, do we ever believe in this country that in this 2025, 2024, 2025, that you buy a liter of petrol for 1,000 naira?
Never.
Did it ever occur to you? Did it occur to you?
Never. Even when it climbed to 100 plus, I was like, wow.
Did you ever occur to you?
There wouldn't be a managing at 1,000. It's like
no, did you ever occur to you that when he even comes back and say it's 900, when people are celebrating, he's coming down.
Okay, anyways, let's look at one more trending video before we wrap up the show because of our time. Okay. This one is just between Omoyele Sowore and a police officer who was conducting a stop and search along Airport Road in Lagos. Let's watch the video. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Yes, we could not play Omoyele Sowore. That's not Omoyele Sowore's video for everyone watching. That's just Edo Task Force, who of course has been sacked after he was caught on tape struggling for car steering with a driver. And I keep wondering, you know, Shagun Shokwiton will always say something that everybody in Nigeria are on red alert because most of Nigerian people are not just okay. Like, how would you wear a uniform and be dragging the steering with a driver, knowing they are on the road, and you could hear the driver pleading for him to stop? Anyway, excuse me, he has been sacked. The official has been sacked, but very quickly because of our time.
Maybe it's because what is there is that these guys have been sent on the road and given a target to generate some revenue. So if you don't meet your targets, some particular amount of money you will not collect. So they are not trained to be civil. They are trained to be rude, intimidate people, and make them pay. So whatever the government of Edo, I actually learned that they have gone AYI in Edo states. I don't know how true is that, but I think since the Okpobolo's administration came in, that the talks have gone AYI in Edo state. But whatever it is, I think the governor will need to protect his name by trying to, appoint a reasonable person to lead that department. Because even in Lagos, they have all gone soft in Lagos. Before, you see a guy in white and green chasing a bus like his life depend on it. But it looks like the Lagos State government has actually rein in on that and made them soft pedal in their approach to motorists. It's very dangerous dragging or struggling steering with a motorist could cause multiple accidents.
Of course,
could cause deaths, could cause some people to lose their livelihood, their source of livelihood, cause people to be bedridden, it could cause people to die, which is unnecessary. And I think at some point, and also this morning, kudos to Lagos State government. I have renewed my licenses, and on my way to this studio, the police officer stopped me. I just recall, I didn't pick my licenses. So I bring out my old one, gave to him. He went to my number, checked it, came back and said, yes, we have done it. And I think that is just the best way.
That's the best way.
That's just the best way.
Harassment.
And I just told the police officer that, young man, you know what? I don't want what happened to me last year to happen to me this year. Because I completely forgot that my papers are due every December 17. All right? So I forgot the spirit of festivity. So I drove out on January 8th only to be got home only to be how do they call it, only to be given a fine of 60,000 naira, 20,000 naira for license, 20,000 naira for roadworthiness, and 20,000 naira for insurance. And then when I went to go and renew my paper, they have to make me pay for those fines before you can renew. Of course, that's the right way. So they told me, the moment you keep driving this car, they will keep paying fine until you renew it. So so I think it's the best way of making people understand that there's no too much way to. And I told Mr. Police Officer, I said, look, most of you don't even need to check the papers again. It is not in your interest. It is in your interest. It is in the interest of the government for you not to even pay on time, so that they can pay fine.
Okay, we have to wrap up there. Anyways, the coordinator of Edo State Public Response Safety Team, Kelly Okoya, has actually said that the approach of the officer was wrong, of course, while noting that the PRSC was not the enemies, are not enemies of drivers, noting that they are actually tired of having conflict with drivers every time, appealing to the public to always report any erring officer to the commission. At this point, we just wrap up the program. Thank you so much, Chief Goddy, for coming on the program. It was amazing. Thank you for all the analysis. It was great. And of course, thank you, my viewers, for joining us.